yourselves for the greatest narrowboat story ever told. Well, it never turned out that way, did it? So it's probably the crappiest narrowboat story ever told. Nevertheless, it's a story to be told, and it's been told for the last 2.5 years over the course of about 150 blimmin' episodes. Quit your job to go continuous cruising forever, and yet not really one day of cruising as of yet. A humongous leak in our bilges that was discovered 2 days after the purchase of our first narrowboat has led to a complete restoration project. Quit your job and use your life savings to document every river and canal by boat on the network. As it turns out, we're using our life savings now to document the whole restoration of this narrowboat before we hit the rivers and canals permanently for you guys. We are Chris and Bex. We are the not so nomadic Crobot. So we've got the narrowboat's MOT coming up. That's the BSS. And we've pretty much sorted out everything on this narrowboat bar one thing. 2 days after purchasing this narrowboat, we pulled out the calorifier tank due to a big leak. In order for the narrowboat to pass the BSS, the gas really needs to be linked up properly to the boiler. Either that or shut off properly. But guess what? This could be the big kick up the arse that Crobot needed to get the hot water plumbed in, finally. And the lovely Becca is working around the clock to get this all sorted before the due date. Yours truly has been told to stay out of the way because there's not a lot of room. So yeah, trying to find other little things to tinker about with.
I'm going to get back onto the 15mm pipe, which is the pipe work that runs the cold water back to the taps and then the heated water back to the taps too, so that we can wash our hands in hot water. Woo! So there are 3 lengths of pipe that have to run from the calorifier down back the boat, so I'll just run you through them quickly. So this little fella is our water mains input, essentially. So this needs to be piped all the way back to the mains water tank at the bow of the boat. From here, as you can see, it branches off, and this cold water input will feed back to our sink in the bathroom, the shower in the bathroom, and the kitchen sink as well. And then this little fella up here, as you can see, pipes up into the calorifier, and once it is warm, it return feeds back, and it does the same thing but with the hot water to the sinks and the shower in the boat. So it's basically those 3 lines that I need to connect up. Is anyone out there still watching this? I mean, it's fascinating stuff, isn't it? Like... Here are my tools of choice for today. The ever dependable pipe cutters. I have also got this little gem, which is a 16mm bore drill, or what would you even call that? What does it say? Oh, a flat wood drill bit. The purpose of this being to cut my access holes through the wall here that I can just feed the pipes through, which of course leaves the one and only Mr. Drill.
So I don't imagine a lot of you have heard me talk about our new Titan canopy covers yet, have you? Anyway, there is one little imperfection that we still need to get sorted on them. So it's not really an imperfection. When Steve came up the other month, he took this little bit of material out, as you can see. And you might wonder, why the hell would you want to keep that horrible little rusty thing there, sort of getting in the way of your lovely canopy cover? But this normally has our video camera stuck into it for those very minimal journeys that we have been cruising. Yeah, I'll whack the video camera in there, and it's a good little spot for it to sit, and it always sort of stays in there quite well, to be honest. So you can see the seam there coming round, and I imagine they'll probably continue it round on this little bit that they cut out for us. So hopefully in the next few weeks we're going to head out back to Titan Boat Canopies, and they're going to sort that all out for us.
So it's always like the logistics of using this pipe, because it's big and bendy and there's no room, so yeah. I think what I'm going to do is roughly try and just have a look at where the pipe runs, attach some pipe clips to the wall to kind of encourage it into the position I want, and then from there I should be able to work out where I need to drill into the wall. So as you can see, I've attached a pipe clip here that goes behind our big fatty pipes to the boiler, and I've attached another one here, and so I've just followed that line and made a mark, how artistic, on my wall where I'm to drill through and feed the pipe through. Sticky. So now what I'm going to do is actually undo the pipe that I just showed you that I'd put in, and I'm going to go into the bathroom and push it in through that side basically, which will just make it a lot easier than trying to feed the whole massive loop through, because I don't want to cut it apprehensively and end up with a piece of pipe that's too short. So let's do that. So into the bathroom I go with my big reel of pipe, where its first connection will be the shower. As you can see, I am wedged in, and I just have to locate the hole that I've just drilled. I can see a bit of light coming through, so it's under there somewhere, and just feed it through. I'm now itchy as hell, covered in insulation, but let's go see if I've poked it through on the other side. Yay, we have pipe poked through! Woohoo! Hello, little one.
So let's give you guys just a quick little walk through of the narrowboat so you can see the state and the mess that Bex has put it in. It's the living room. A little bit messy. Next up we go into the kitchen. So we'll lead into the bedroom, the master bedroom. Woohoo! Look at that. Next up, the bathroom. Oh, there's your bathroom. And then finally into the snoring room, where the culprit to all this mess has taken nest. Obviously, it is absolutely fantastic what Bex has done here, and with her dad. I mean, I would not be able to do this myself, so bless them for taking on the job. Like I said previously, I was going to get the Maverick to come in and sort out the calorifier tank, but Bex was adamant that she wanted to find out more about how these calorifiers are set up and all the plumbing aspects, and just learn basically how to do it, which is, you know, fair play. It's amazing, isn't it?
Right guys, so I'm back in the bathroom. It's a new day and I'm ready to crack back on with the piping. I think where I'd left you last time, I'd run the pipe through the wall, and so the next step is to just cut that to size so I can attach it to my shower hoses. You can just see it comes through the wall here. I just need to cut this to size and attach it to this. And once again, because of how unbelievably squashed it is in here, I'm just going to do that and then I'll show you the end result rather than filming the whole process, because it is blooming impossible. So as you can probably just about make out, I've added a T-fitting here basically so that the pipe can come up and supply the shower, and also branch off along the bottom here and continue up to where the bathroom sink tap will be. So what I'm going to do now is just attach my flexible tap connector to that bit of pipe, and I'm going to use one of my copper olives that I got the other day, because apparently this is the way to do it. If you're using compression fittings with plastic barrier pipe, you must ensure that you use a copper olive instead of a brass one, because I think it has something to do with the copper being a bit softer, so there's less likelihood of it distorting the plastic pipe basically, or biting into it and rendering it vulnerable to leakage. So I'll do that. So that's the cold water to the shower done. Now I just have to do exactly the same thing for the hot water. Run the pipe through the wall up to its connector. So I'm just going to crack on with that, and I'll see you back here in a minute.
We're back in my favourite area down here in the gas locker, one of the areas that I've got ready for the BSS. A few people have been telling us that we're going to need these strapped in. So that seems like quite an important thing. Though I'm probably going to do that after the BSS, because you never know, it doesn't get flagged while we're putting all the effort into it. Someone also left a comment saying that there should be some sort of ventilation in here, and I'm not too sure really. I mean, the bottom of it, the top of it, does that class as ventilation? And a ventilation gap? There is a gap there, and there is a gap at the bottom. So yeah, maybe that classes as the ventilation side of things.
that's all done, and I've just got the ends blanked off to prevent any kind of crazy water splurges happening. So now, as you can see, I've got both my hot and cold lines running through the back bedroom, through the wall, where they come through. They come through into the bathroom and branch off here to feed the cold water for the shower and the hot water for the shower, like this. Woo! So the next stage is to carry on from these T-fittings, take them through. You can see where the old grey pipes go through to under the bed. Everything is so hazardous. They will feed through to under the bed and then go back through the wall again to supply the tap. The benefit of that being that it keeps all the pipe work hidden, because if I just, you're probably wondering, well, why not just run it straight to the tap here? But it would mean that all the pipe work was exposed in the bathroom, whereas if I feed it through to the bed and then back again, it keeps it all nicely hidden. So you can perhaps just make out that's where it feeds through the wall into under the bed, and it comes back round again and it comes through, feed the taps here. Now what I'm actually going to do is to take out all of that old grey pipe, because we've got enough new pipe to just do the whole lot brand spanking new, so I figure why not, you know. From what I understand, it never seemed such a great idea to mix and match this plumbing gear, because not all the fittings are kind of really universal, so it's best to try and stick to one if you can, I think. So here we go, let's pull it through. This is where I ping it back and slap myself around the face or something. We have one free. The next one, ooh, that actually feels all wet and leaky. And now, interestingly, I've closed off all the water flow to these pipes, but there must be some residual water in there because this particular fitting is leaking, and that would explain why there's a wet patch on the bathroom floor. Nothing major, but it's obviously just been leaking, slowly leaking out that kind of residual water in the pipes. Anyway, so that's one mystery solved. So it's time to break out the new roll of pipe. Right, so I've got my pipe here, so I'm just going to feed it through that wall section so that I can work out how much I need to cut. Yeah. All whilst balancing on all of this. What a lovely job. Fed it through here now, so I'm just going to pop a pipe insert into here and attach it up to the T fitting there. Right, so I've got the pipe attached on the other side to my T fitting, so now I just need to somehow mark out where I need to cut it in this section under the bed. More easily said than done, because I'm navigating around a massive pile of ballast and wood and everything, and it's basically in a corner where I can't see, so I'm essentially doing it in the dark, blind. So this should be interesting. Just under there somewhere. I don't even know if I'm pointing at it, possibly. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I've run out of pipe inserts and various other bits that I need, and it's about 7 o'clock or something, and given that I only had about 2 hours sleep last night as well, I think it's time to call it quits for the day. So I'll check in with you on the next section. Night, guys.
Let me take you on a ride on the ghost train tonight.